crypto is down, and all the headlines are saying is the bull run over and sell your crypto. But what is actually happening? And if we are going to see this crash continue, or are we going to see a bounce? Make sure you watch this entire video to find out what your best plan of action is. Bitcoin plummeted below 86,000, marking its lowest level in 3 months. The broader crypto market has also taken a hit, with total market capitalization shedding 8%, dropping from over 3.31 trillion to approximately 3.09 trillion. The sharp decline comes amid macroeconomic uncertainty, regulatory concerns, and shifting investor sentiment. Analysts now warn that Bitcoin could drop further, potentially testing support at $70,000. Despite this, Bitcoin has performed better than most altcoins like Trump Coin down 11% and Sonic down 14%, and others dropping by over 30% in the last 7 days. The crypto destruction here is mainly outside of Bitcoin, said Mark Cudmore on Bloomberg TV. Bitcoin is a relative outperformer. Several factors could be contributing to Bitcoin's latest decline. Crypto reacts to Trump's tariffs. The immediate trigger for Bitcoin's decline appears to be U.S. President Donald Trump's confirmation of new tariffs on imports from Canada and Mexico, along with a 10% tariff on Chinese goods.
We're on time with the tariffs, and it seems like that's moving along very rapidly. We've been mistreated very badly by many countries, not just Canada and Mexico. We've been taken advantage of. We were led by, in some cases, fools, because anybody that would sign documents like they signed, where they were able to take advantage of the American people, like has happened over the last long period of time, except for a little 4-year period that took place 4 years ago. But anybody that would agree to allow this to happen to our country should be ashamed of themselves. No, the tariffs are going forward on time, on schedule. This is an abuse that took place for many, many years. And I'm not even blaming the other countries that did this. I blame our leadership for allowing it to happen. I mean, you know, who can blame them if they made these great deals with the United States, took advantage of the United States on manufacturing, on just about everything. Every aspect that you can imagine they took advantage of. I look at some of these agreements, I'd read them at night, and I'd say, who would ever sign a thing like this? So the tariffs will go forward, yes, and we're going to make up a lot of territory. All we want is reciprocal. We want reciprocity. We want to have the same. So if somebody charges us, we charge them. It's very simple, but it'll be very good for our country. Our country will be extremely liquid and rich again.
Investors reacted negatively, fearing increased inflation and economic uncertainty, which pushed risk assets like Bitcoin lower. 3 weeks ago, Trump announced tariffs, causing Bitcoin to drop from 105,000 to a low of 86,000 as the crypto market declined nearly 10%. Trump's confirmation of these tariffs seems to be rattling the markets again. Correlation with traditional markets. Bitcoin's price movement has started to mirror traditional financial markets. The S&P 500 has dropped 2.3% over the past 5 trading days, while the Nasdaq Composite has fallen 4%. Bitfinex's February 24th Alpha report highlighted that worsening U.S.-China relations and restrictions on semiconductor exports, particularly NVIDIA chips, have contributed to declining investor confidence. Collapse in volatility. Historically, sharp price swings have defined Bitcoin and crypto's market cycles, but traders are now facing a period where momentum appears to be fading. There was a collapse in volatility recently, said Cudmore. There was an early warning sign that the next major collapse in Bitcoin was likely imminent. The drop in volatility has left some traders cautious, as periods of low price fluctuation often precede sharp breakouts, either up or down. With Bitcoin struggling to find direction, some fear that the current lull could set the stage for a deeper correction. And all of this isn't helped by the fact that there is a ton of bearish news at the moment, like BlackRock deposits $204 million in crypto to Coinbase. BlackRock, a major financial institution, has recently transferred substantial amounts of cryptocurrency, specifically 18,168 ETH and 1,800 Bitcoin, to Coinbase. These transactions, which occurred within the last hour, indicate significant activity in BlackRock's cryptocurrency portfolio, likely related to their Ethereum and Bitcoin ETFs. This story has been confirmed by Arkham. BlackRock's recent deposit into Coinbase has sparked speculation about whether the financial giant is selling its cryptocurrency holdings. The deposit could indicate a sell-off, potentially exerting downward pressure on the market, especially in a market crash. However, It's equally possible that BlackRock is using Coinbase Prime for custody, trading, or strategic positioning related to their Ethereum and Bitcoin ETFs. The bearish impact from selling would likely be temporary unless it triggers broader panic selling, which is possible due to the current fear in the market. The market's reaction hinges on BlackRock's intent, which remains unclear without official confirmation. If BlackRock is selling, it could be a tactical move, some profit-taking, rebalancing, or hedging, rather than a loss of confidence, given their historically bullish stance on crypto this past year. In other news, Bitcoin ETFs face $1 billion outflows amid U.S.-China trade tensions. U.S. Bitcoin ETFs saw their largest two-week outflow ever, with over $1.14 billion leaving the funds as investors react to growing U.S.-China trade tensions. The two-week outflow is the largest since Bitcoin ETFs launched in January 2024. February has been a bad month for Bitcoin ETFs, with most days in the red. Analysts believe the big decline in Bitcoin ETF investments is tied to economic uncertainty, particularly U.S.-China trade tensions. New import tariffs have spooked investors, and many are pulling their money out of Bitcoin ETFs. Market participants are waiting to see what comes out of the meeting between U.S. President Donald Trump and Chinese President Xi Jinping. Trump said a new trade deal is possible, but didn't give a timeline, adding to the uncertainty. But despite this, things aren't all bearish. There is still some bullish news and potential signals that this is just a dip and not the end of the bear market. For example, Cathie Wood says Bitcoin consolidation extremely healthy amid early stages of institutional adoption. Report. ARK Invest's Cathie Wood reportedly says that Bitcoin's market structure remains strong, and the flagship crypto asset may soon have a massive breakout. According to a new Barron's report, Wood says at the CBOE Global Markets 2025 Bitcoin Outlook webinar that the sideways trading of the top digital asset in the 90,000 range this month is extremely healthy. We would not want the market to continue straight up to the right without looking back. We want a wall of worry. Wood also says that institutional adoption of Bitcoin is in its early stages, and money managers now have some fiduciary responsibility to explore adding BTC to their portfolio. She notes that there remains only about 1 million Bitcoin left to mine, highlighting its scarcity properties, while emphasizing the demand from institutions is just starting to increase. In terms of the ramp in Bitcoin's price, we're at nearly 20 million out of the 21 million units outstanding, and only now are institutions getting involved. Lastly, Wood predicts a massive breakout for Bitcoin once there is increased regulatory clarity that is expected under pro-crypto U.S. President Donald Trump, as well as clarity around what Trump's tax cuts will be. I think the regulatory regime, clarity there, is going to unleash a huge amount of innovation around Bitcoin and other digital assets. Once we understand when the tax cuts are, when the regulation cuts are, there will be an unleashing of animal spirits. Also, Bybit's Ethereum acquisition. Bybit, a cryptocurrency exchange, has significantly invested in Ethereum, purchasing 212,101 ETH worth approximately $574 million over 3 days through over-the-counter transactions. This includes a recent acquisition of 36,893 ETH for about $87.5 million. These moves are seen as strategic, potentially aimed at preparing for Ethereum ETF offerings, enhancing staking services, and increasing market liquidity after recovering from a $1.4 billion hack. Also, Grayscale just filed for a Polkadot ETF, and the SEC acknowledged Cardano ETF application from Grayscale. This is very bullish in the long term, as I think this cycle has been missing an alt season, and I believe we will get one, but there will be some pain first. But I think one of the big catalysts for an alt season this year will be various altcoins getting ETF. Current sentiment is mixed, with some viewing it as a buying opportunity and others fearing a dump. But what do you think? Let me know in the comments below.
Bitcoin, Fs or Elon Musk. These words are so familiar nowadays. But what's up with Shiba Inu and Shibarium? Can you tell? Well, no less of an exciting journey. People are finally gaining more confidence in the crypto space. And now we are entering a stage we've never been in before. But what am I talking about? Well, let me explain. As we wrap up the first quarter of 2024, there's been a bunch of interesting stuff happening lately. But let's talk about last year for a sec. Crypto was kinda boring, right? Lots of folks got tired of it and either ditched their crypto or just stopped paying attention. But hey, Can you really blame them? When things get dull, it's pretty normal for us humans to lose interest. And here's something you should understand. During the bear market, when interest waned and prices dropped, those who remained vigilant seized the opportunity to accumulate crypto at lower prices. It served as a litmus test, revealing the committed from the indifferent. Now, in 2024, the approval of the Bitcoin ETF has injected unexpected excitement into the crypto market. This development has attracted a fresh wave of participants, hinting at the potential for significant growth ahead. And it looks like just the beginning. In the first quarter of 2024, the Shiba Inu ecosystem had a big moment. Shiba Inu shot up by 190%. Leash climbed 87%, and Bone rose by 25%. There was a lot of trading going on, and some smart partnerships were made. The Shiba Inu ecosystem really took off in Q1 of 2024. And this is very important. For those not familiar with quarters that much, imagine a year like a pie, but instead of cutting it into slices, we split it into 4 equal parts. Each part is called a quarter. So if you think about it, a year has 4 quarters. January to March is the first quarter, April to June is the second quarter, and so on. Now in the business world, quarters are a big deal. Companies use them to track how well they're doing. They look at the price of the quarter, and they look at the price of the quarter. They look at things like sales, profits, and expenses during each quarter to see if they're on track to meet their goals. If a quarter isn't successful for a business, it means they didn't make as much money or meet their targets. This could be because of things like low sales or unexpected expenses. But if a quarter is successful, it means the company did really well and met or even exceeded their goals. And while it all makes much sense, here's the important part. If we take crypto, then the situation is pretty similar, but usually has a bigger impact on behavior. When a crypto project has a successful quarter with positive developments and prices increases, investors tend to feel more confident. They may be more inclined to buy or hold on to their tokens, anticipating further growth and potential returns. Conversely, if a crypto project has an unsuccessful quarter, investors may become wary. Price decreases or lackluster developments could lead to a loss of confidence in the project's future prospects. In such cases, investors might sell their tokens, causing the price to drop further. If a crypto project has a successful quarter, investors may be more inclined to buy or hold on to their tokens, anticipating further growth and potential returns. In both scenarios, investors closely monitor the quarterly performance of crypto projects to assess their investment decisions. A successful quarter can attract new investors and drive up demand, while an unsuccessful quarter may result in decreased investor interest and token value. And this is where things get interesting for Shiba Inu specifically. Bidget, a cryptocurrency exchange, recently shared some interesting numbers. They showed a huge surge in activity for Shiba Inu